Okay, are you guys clear about this? Yeah?
Is it because that the banks have powers to print money when they make loans, or because I think like if some people deposit their money into the bank and the bank need to give it back, so it might be like into the liability.
No, okay, all right. You don't understand what's going on, okay? All right, listen, it's not that hard, okay? I have gold. I put the gold into the bank. People come to borrow the gold, right? Then I give a paper saying this is gold. It's money, okay? Money. Okay? Is this money a debt or a liability? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense as a liability because I don't owe that thing. Okay? And the fact that I can use this money in order to create more money means it's an asset. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. So now this becomes the basis of the global banking system. All right. So let me show you how. All right. So what happens is this: you have these banks in America, in the world. They're private banks. They're run by private people who put all their money in the banks. Okay? You have the U.S. government. You have the government. Okay. The U.S. government does not have any money. The U.S. government wants to borrow money. The question then is like, how do you borrow money? If you borrow money from these banks individually, that's too hard, okay? So what happens is this. What happens is, in 1913, the banks got together and created something called the Federal Reserve. All right? Federal Reserve, it's not hard. It's just a cartel of private banks in America. Okay, do you understand? Now the US government can just work with the Federal Reserve and borrow money directly from the Federal Reserve, which represents all the banks in America. Okay? So how does the US government borrow money from the Federal Reserve? It issues bonds, that's called US Treasuries. Okay? So the Federal Reserve can print money to buy US Treasuries, and then this money goes to the US government, and the US government can then pay for expenses. Okay, does that make sense? All right. Now, this system is fine. The problem is that the US government spends a lot of money. It fights wars, it wants to send men to the moon, it wants people to have a good life, okay? So today, America has $39 trillion in debt.